A man opened fire directly at the police, but the officer who was shot in the head did not die immediately and tried to rush to the door to trigger the alarm. Unfortunately, he failed. At that moment, 2 officers returned to the station. Thinking quickly, the killer disguised himself as a delivery man and told them someone had fallen and was injured. As the curious officers stepped forward to check, the killer suddenly pulled out a gun and shot them before they could react. Hearing the gunshots, the captain came out of his office, but the killer remained calm and again claimed to be a delivery man. Using balloons as cover, he pulled the trigger and killed the captain, even mocking them as useless fools. At this point, a female officer sensed something was wrong, drew her weapon, and tried to stop him. The killer quickly pulled out a submachine gun and forced her to retreat. The female officer ran to the safest place, the jail area, and hid behind a bulletproof glass door. She began entering the code to open the iron door, while bullets rained down on the glass like hail. The killer kept firing until the glass finally shattered. Just as he pulled the trigger again, he ran out of bullets. The female officer seized the chance to fire back and pushed open the jail door, jumping inside. As bullets continued raining down, she realized she had been hit. It turned out the killer had stormed the police station to assassinate a gang boss being held in that cell, with a bounty of 10 million on his head. The killer tried shooting through the iron door, but nearly got hit by ricochet bullets, and the heavy armored door forced him to change tactics. After a while, a colleague told the female officer that the criminal had left, but she knew the killer wouldn't leave until the mission was complete. She questioned her colleague and soon exposed her true identity. The colleague dropped the disguise and admitted she was the killer's accomplice, while the man was hiding behind iron bars nearby. To get into the cell, they came up with another plan, breaking the wall between the locker room and the jail. The sound of a sledgehammer echoed through the station. With the wall about to collapse, the female officer had no choice but to release the gang boss and asked her to get a rescue kit. Meanwhile, a patrolling officer returned to the station and found it empty, with shell casings scattered on the floor. Following the noise, she reached the locker room, where someone was still smashing the wall. A surviving officer desperately begged for his life, hoping Anthony would spare him, while Cooper pleaded on his behalf. But when Anthony learned they were friends, a twisted idea came to mind. He handed the gun to Cooper and told him to do it himself after all. Killing one more wouldn't matter. Suddenly, Teddy burst in, disrupting everything. He picked up a submachine gun and entered a killing spree. At the same time, Bob had freed himself from his handcuffs. He told Yang that Teddy wouldn't return, and releasing just one person wasn't the best option. Releasing both would balance the situation. For Yang, who was bleeding continuously, having another person who might help was not a loss. Meanwhile, Teddy continued playing a deadly cat-and-mouse game with Anthony. In the darkness, Cooper seized the opportunity and escaped.